Retreat. You're right.
Despite the headlines, home prices aren't falling. I got a little graphic here. But first, that's going to be brought to you by Andy Prasky, Preferred Home Team.
Hey, did you know the month of June is one of the busiest months in the housing market? If you're looking to buy or sell, you want to be ready for that. Let me give you a little inside scoop on what to expect. A lot of times people with children try to move between the school years, and guess what? That's the window that we're in right now. So buyers and sellers are going to enter the marketplace. They're going to be motivated to make their moves happen fast, especially before the school year starts. So if you're looking to buy, that means two things: more options, more competition. If you're looking to sell, you can see multiple offers if your house is priced right and shows well. It's an exciting time to make your move, and I want to work with you. So if you're ready to go, I'm Andy P., ready to help you on your real estate journey today. Hey, like our videos, I'll like you back. Follow our page, I'll love you. And boy, if you made comments, you'd be the best.
It's that time of year in the market to try to buy a house. Oh, that was my video. Sorry.
Hello, I am a very excited agent ready to help you.
I just want them to sell. But anyways, yes, that is true.
Hey, Chris, if nobody's ever met you, nothing wrong with sounding professional. I just don't know how to do that. I don't know how to sound like what is that, James Earl Jones or whatever. All right, here we go.
I just need a little music, a little higher music to drown me out and kind of set that mood. Yeah.
I'd much rather sit with a ukulele and sing about the house.
Nice.
It's a 4-bedroom and a 3-bath house.
You got to get one of those.
I'll do it. I will. I'm not afraid.
That's awesome. Okay, so what are we talking about? Despite the headlines, the home prices are not falling, and it's up. What at Minnesota? 6%, 6%. I don't doubt that. I don't doubt that at all. I had a listing that really, from the time I told them what I thought it would sell for, by the time we listed it, was $100,000 different.
Jeez.
Upwards. Yeah, just that market segment just hit at the right time. So it's that's why when I always go in, I always tell people, I said, I'm giving you a price today, what I know today and what that market is today, because that can change, and it can change in a week or 2 weeks. I told them that, and that was exactly what they said. They go, oh my God, you said that you would look at it at that time. I said, exactly. But I think sometimes maybe they'll get an agent in at the very end and they're like, oh my gosh, maybe we could try for higher. And you kind of lose out on it because you told them a different price. But it's like, hey, it's about what it is today. We go, I'm pricing 2 of them for this weekend, and I did the markets yesterday. Redid them and kind of understood, okay, here's what's on, here's where we need to go at. Because that's what buyers are doing. They know exactly what's on the market at that time.
What's so weird is you and I are so similar, it's scary. I fill out my listing agreements, and then I don't fill in the price, and I say, let's do an adjustment right before we list. Let's verify where we're at. Let's look at how many competitors are out there, position ourselves properly in the stack, and then go to town and market. And it sometimes helps, sometimes it doesn't, but I'll tell you, that last minute look, I think verifies, like, and why agents like us are doing that is because we're assuming that there's going to be movement, right? We're in a volatile market right now where I feel like, is it going to go up? Is it going to go down? Is it going to whatever? And so consumers, obviously, I don't want to leave money on the table for the consumers. So that's where we actually take a look at, is there more money or price that we could, or is there a new listing that we could look good? Let's say they list 20,000 higher than we were going to list, and we come up 10 and make another 10, or something like that.
And the other part is all of a sudden stuff sells. So this Robbinsdale property I was telling you about, everything's sold. Everything's sold around it. So there's nothing out there. And so what does that automatically do? Boom, it boosts you up. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to go start pricing higher, but you might push it a little. So if you're going to be, let's just say 385, you might go 389.9. And maybe it gets people excited, and all of a sudden now you're over 400.
Well, and Chris, I'll tell you what, I'm just going to be a little bit of a contrarian here for a second. The having prices going up 6% or whatever else, I am seeing a market where offers are coming in with closing costs being paid. I don't care if it's 10,000, 15,000, 3%. Builders are paying up to 6%. I mean, so all of these numbers are basically in a situation where they're being skewed. because the real prices, if you took those out, are going to be lower. And that's not on every price point, but that's on a lot of them that are being financed right now. They're not afraid to come in and ask for home inspections. They're not afraid to hand you the dirty laundry list and say, hey, I want all this stuff fixed. They're not afraid to ask you for concessions towards their buy downs. So I'm seeing quite a bit of that happening right now in the marketplace as well. And
I agree.
so maybe
I think most all of them,
policy, maybe it's 2%.
most every offer has got an inspection tied to it. We're starting to see contingent offers, which are not bad as long as the backup house is going to be realistic in what they want to do. We had one lately that came in, and they wanted 30 days to be able to get their house on the market, and we just had listed it. I was like, that just doesn't make sense. You got to kind of prepare a little more, or look at bridge loans. I found a bank, actually Granite Bank and Mortgage. They're doing bridge loans basically for free, just so as long as they get the end loan, and which is really interesting. They're just they're securing. There's some little cost, but there's no origination or anything like that. So it's a real easy way in which to be able to do it. For people that don't know, a bridge loan is basically kind of held against the equity of your home that you're selling. And you got to be able to be qualified and all that kind of stuff to be able to do it. But it's a great way in which to be able to kind of get into something and be non-contingent type buyer. So.
Right. I mean, really, it's. I think the word bridge, think of it as being short term. It's kind of like they know what you're doing with the money. You're putting that money, you're taking money out of your existing house to put down on the future purchase, and they know that you're going to sell this house. Mm-hmm. So it's bridging the gap, right? It's carrying that. Not to oversimplify it, but I think that's a lot of people will say, well, why don't I just get an equity line? Because a lot of our new construction loans, they'll go pull an equity line against their house because it's cheaper, it's no cost. And a lot of times bridge loans are more expensive. So a resource like you just referenced might be really appreciated by a lot of their listeners here.
Yep, absolutely. And sometimes the difference between an equity line and a bridge loan is sometimes you got to have a lot of equity. Sometimes bridge loans are based more off of, what your house is most likely going to sell for. Mm-hmm. So it's you can be a little more flexible with a bridge loan if you need to be.
Yeah, good point.